Welcome to part 3 on the double data type. We are going to test the border cases of doing mathematics with 0 using the double type. Here I'll be using a JShell. If you are unfamiliar with JShell, you're welcome to look at my playlist of video tutorials on JShell. Yeah, I've assigned R1, R2, R3, R4 of type double, these over here, with the values of 0.0d, which you don't need to use the suffix, and yeah, I'm using the small suffix and the large suffix d to indicate that they are double literals. So I'm adding a 0.0 to a 0.0. There I'm adding and assigning to R2 a positive zero to a negative double zero, and yeah, R3 negative to a positive. I just turn it around, and a negative, and as you can see, R1 gave me 0.0, R2 0.0, R3 0.0, and R4 the only one that gives me a negative. Well, I added two negatives. The others, even if I added a positive to a negative, and a negative positive gave me positive zeros. Interesting results that. And yeah, I'm using the minus, where I'm adding a positive, minusing positive 0 from a positive 0, minusing a positive from a negative 0, a negative 0 from a positive 0, and I'm minusing a negative 0 from a negative 0. And yeah, again, I only got one result that gave me a negative. So what does that tell me? Let's check something. I'm just going to display them here again. Yeah, they all are the results of R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, R6, R7, R8, as you can see them here. Two of them gave me negatives. A bit of very difficult to remember this. And do we really need to remember it? Let's see. What if I say boolean just to check something, and I'm going to call this boolean variable b1, and I'm going to say equals to 0.0. Now what I want to know is 0.0 the same as negative 0.0? And we know those are doubles, and it's true, so it doesn't really matter because a negative 0 is the same as a positive 0 in the doubles. Okay, now let's look at multiplication, since we've done the adding and minusing. So yeah, we got some variables which I assign multiplication. So I'm multiplying a negative 0 with a positive 0 doubles of type double, and I'm assigning the results to double. Yeah, I've got a positive double multiplied with a positive double, and yeah, I'm multiplying 0.35, which is a double with 0 double, and yeah, I'm multiplying 2.2, which is a double with a negative 0.0, and that's supposed to be it's a float, but it will convert to a double. So what's the output here? They're all giving me R9, R10, or 11 are giving me doubles. So a negative times a negative, as we know that's right, it will give me a positive. Positive times a positive gives me a positive, and any number times 0 will give me a 0. So they all give me a 0, and a positive multiplied by negative 0 gives me a negative double. So that follows the rules. Any number multiplied by 0 results in a 0, as we just saw over here. Now let's look at division, and here we got the divisions. So I'm saying 7.0 divided by 0, 7 divided by negative 0, 0 divided by negative 0, and again those two are basically the same. And as you can see, when you divide any number, any double number except for 0 by 0, it will give you an infinity and a negative infinity if one of them is negative. And if you divide 0 by 0, that will result in NaN. Infinity has got a negative infinity, a positive infinity, just like your zeros, but your NaN just stands for not a number, so it doesn't matter if you divide by negative or positive 0, they're going to give you not a number. And just for interest sake, what will this one be? Where these aren't doubles or floats, it's integers. As you can see, there's no decimal. So 9 divided by 0, and the difference between a double and a float that we saw in previous lessons, when you're dividing by 0, gives you NaN, where this one here, as you can see there, doubles divided by 0 gives you NaN, and your integers, when you're dividing by integers, by integer by 0, doesn't give you a NaN, it actually throws an arithmetic exception. So note that. We have come to the end of this lesson. We saw that the double has two zeros, 0.0 and negative 0.0, and that they are equal. We also noted that dividing any double except for negative or positive 0 with a negative or a positive 0 results in negative or positive infinity. We also noted that dividing 0 by 0, positive or negative, resulted in a NaN, not a number. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson, learned something from it, and please don't forget to press the subscribe and notify button. I've also got a Facebook page related to this channel. You are welcome to join my adventure channel, where I share photos and videos of various activities. Until we meet again in our next lesson, I wish you well and happy coding.